Plasti-Dip. You're gonna ruin your windows. No, I'm not. I'm actually further insulating them. I'm soundproofing them as well. So this will absorb vibration on the glass and it will also insulate. Plus I'm gonna put polyisofoam in front of the windows. I'm only doing the back 4 on the sides. I'm just doing this one, the opposite one, this one, and the other opposite one. I've already cleaned the surface. You have to make sure it's clean and dry. Not all the doors are open here because you're really not supposed to have like a breezy atmosphere. We are in the most windy place in the world. We're gonna shake it while we use it and I have 6 cans of this. You probably should have a mask. Thanks, I know, dude. Yep. We're gonna have to do a lot of coats of this. I watched someone on YouTube do it, so now I'm a pro. I think about 6 coats, so I got 6 cans of this. Because I don't know how much a can is gonna cover. So, that's just the way.
Mom, I really don't like that smell. Ew. Ew, get it off my nose, Mom. Just gonna rub my nose all over this pillow and get it off. I don't like that smell at all. Mom, you're making it worse. Make it stop. Make it stop, Mom.
It's okay. This is how it's supposed to look. We'll keep working at it, and I will keep rolling around the floor. Okay, this is what the first coat looks like. And it doesn't really look like I put anything on there but smudged it. But that's okay because sometimes it takes quite a few coats. That's why we have 6 cans. And about half a can did these 4 windows. So now you know, this is a 4350 and those back windows are probably about 2, maybe 2.5 square feet. And I don't know how big those windows are, but you can tell they're pretty big windows and I'm pretty sure I'll use half the can. So it's a good thing we have 6 because I don't know how many coats we're gonna have to do, but we can always go get more. That's funny. This is coat number 2. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of coats.
I'm about to bump my head in the air conditioner. For the 5th time today. Stupid air conditioner.
Through and kind of blows all the spray stuff out of the van. So you have to close up the van to do it. But at least the back doors are open for ventilation. This can is almost empty. I'm gonna try and finish up this one window with it. But you can tell it's already like doing a great job of darkening it up in here. Whew. This mattress stays in here because it's too heavy to keep bringing out every day and putting it back in, and I don't have anywhere to put it. And if I bring it outside, it'll be covered in dust and sand. So I have to work on top of it. I'd really rather be in quartzite where I can put this in a tent and everything else in a tent and then have an empty shell to work with, because this is just not really conducive. This environment is really not fun. I'm having a very stressful, hard time, guys, not gonna lie. And I'm also getting buzzed. 2 coats for these 4 windows. That's pretty good. I didn't think I was gonna get 1 coat out of each window, so I thought I was gonna have to go back and get more, but I don't think I am. And then you have to wait a half an hour between each coat. The timer starts now. I'm just really happy at this point to be accomplishing something, because it just seems like everything that I've tried to accomplish has just been hitting my head against brick walls and like then pushing me back 300 feet. So I'm just glad to be able to get somewhere with it. And now that the leak is fixed, it's editing, buddy, and the leaks are still leaking. The insulation's done. It's not done. I still have a lot of work to do. There's problems with that. I can't do the rest of the spray foam insulation because I don't have anywhere to sleep in the meantime while it cures. And that stuff gives off VOCs, volatile organic compound gases, basically toxic gases, for up to 48 hours. So I need a place to sleep other than the van while it's curing. Now I'm on a limited time frame too, because it's going to be like 27 degrees and it won't cure when it's freezing outside. So okay, as you can see, like we're 6 coats in and it's looking pretty good. That one's still drying, and I'm gonna do another coat on this one just because you can kind of see the sun come through, and I really just want it to be as black as possible. And I bought all this paint, I might as well use it. 6 or 7 coats in, I think, is what we're at right now, and the paint is going pretty far. It does take a lot of coats to really coat this stuff and like block out the light. It doesn't have to be super perfect because this will be covered in polyisofoam and the framing and stuff, and then some kind of paneling over that. We're getting there. Not gonna lie though, I think I have a little buzz going on from all these fumes. Woo! I'm gonna call it done. I want to say there's like 7 or 8 coats on here. It does take a lot, but you really don't want any light escaping. I don't think it's going to, because there's also going to be insulation up against these windows and paneling and everything, but I just wanted to be extra sure, and I'm quite happy with the result. Much cheaper than tinting. Each can was about $9, and I got 6 cans, and I think I only went through about 4 of them. Okay, so I've got the lights on in the van, and this is the final effect. You can't see anything in there. You can't even see a trace of light. It is completely blacked out, and that is just from painting the inside of these 2 back windows and the other 2 on the other side with Plastidip. There it is with the tinted windows, and there's Sparrow and his lovely little nose prints. And here are the other ones that are completely painted over Plastidip. This just has some Reflectix over it. But there will be complete total privacy, and no one will be able to see any insulation through the windows then. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. I think that's great. And this is what it looks like on the inside. But we're not gonna see this because we're gonna have stuff over it. It's time for bed. Good morning. I am halfway through the next phase. Well, a quarter of the way through the next phase. And the next phase is putting Reflectix on that window now. The whole reason for the Plasti-Dip is because I didn't want people to look through the glass and see Reflectix. I just wanted it to look black. I'm trying to be as stealth as possible. I don't know how that's going to be possible in a van like this with bus doors, but I still want it to look somewhat professional and streamlined. This is my next phase. I've used, this adhesive is okay for polymers and plastics basically. And because I coated it in plastic, it's adhesing basically the Reflectix, which is plastic on one side, to the other side, which is plastic. So that's gonna work great. The 3M90 is good for like high temperature stuff, withstands the vibrations of a moving vehicle. It's also what I use to adhere the Insulate isolation in between those metal cavities right there. I still have enough left to do the windows. On top of the Reflectix is going to go this polyisofoam sheet over here, which you can see I've already cut out. I'm sorry I didn't film that part. It's early in the morning and I just didn't think about it. I've used the Reflectix as a template to cut out the polyisofoam. It doesn't have to be perfect because I have foil tape that's going to be going around the polyisofoam, and that is where we lose most of the heat and gain most of the cold. And it's also where the heat comes in, the glass. That's my next step, and I'll show you when this window, actually I think I'm going to do this window first with the Reflectix before I do the polyisofoam. I hope the sun's not in your eyes, guys. But with this stuff you have to spray both this surface and this surface so they can bond together. So the first one I'm going to do is this. Oops, I got to shake it up first, which I've already kind of done. Trying not to get this on my bed, but I think it's inevitable at this point because I'm building while living in here. It's okay if it's not perfect because you can always trim off the edges with an X-Acto knife. But in this case, I kind of want to just keep it there with any layer of protection I can from that heat and cold. Okay, then the next step is to put this up. And to adhere this, we're going to need liquid nails, which I have a tube of. It comes in a cock and gun kind of situation, and then you have to prop this up so that there's pressure against it. Which means I can't do anything else, which is why I'm starting super early in the morning to get these two things done, because I have someone today coming to look at the door. And I want to get the spray foam in because it's supposed to be 20-something degrees in a few days. So we have a race against time before it gets cold in here, so we can at least have some kind of insulation and it will stay warm. The roof is another story. We're doing the best we can. I just stuck a fly to the floor by accident. Okay, so we've got all Reflectix up on these 4 windows on the sides, and I'm just keeping the polyiso foam there so I know which one fits into which.
I actually ended up switching these two because you want the foil on the outside.
Next, we got to get this polyiso foam in, so let's get to it. What the heck? Okay, so like I said, I'm not gonna be able to film everything because it's just one person and I really have a time crunch, so I'm trying to get it done. Also, something just happened. We'll talk about that later. I want you to see what I just did with the polyiso foam. This is the temporary tape job, this foam stuff, the metal stuff right here. The stuff along the top is more of how it's going to look like when it's done. But right now I'm just trying to get it to stay up because I put liquid nails along that metal so that that polyiso foam can stay within that little alcove, the cutout of the window. I've also done it over here. We've got some big boards holding it up just to have pressure on it until it's cured, which will take a while. Hopefully it'll be by the time I need to go to sleep tonight. I'm not trying to sleep in here. I think I'm actually going to try and sleep inside tonight because of this situation. I'm also using spray foam right now to get some crevices and stuff, and that's going to take 24 to 48 hours to cure. The doors are open, except for those because the wind is blowing. Of course the wind has to blow. That's what's going on now. I'll try to keep you guys updated as much as I can as I do this build. And
So remember how the door was supposed to get fixed today, right? Well, the guy came to fix the door, and my friend pulled him aside and put him to work for him at higher pay. He knew the guy was coming to look at my door and fix it, and he didn't tell me he was planning to put him to work for himself. And it was the last straw for me.
Okay, we're gonna do a whole nother van tour because I packed up and left my friend's house.
So right now, all my things are under that bed that Sparrow's on, in bins with a piece of plywood over it. It's not great. I can't access any of those things. I don't have a place to cook. I can't even get to most of my clothing. And I certainly can't build right now. So until further notice, the build is on hold. As far as my former friend, there are some juicy details and it will be in my book. Bottom line is sometimes you just gotta choose the high road and leave. Right, Sparrow?
Right, Mom.
So we still have like construction zone going on. We have a place to sit and Sparrow's bed is there, and even the door is somewhat insulated until we get the sheet metal on there. This is what I'm working with right now. Notice my fridge is gone. I don't have a way to power it. I have no solar right now except for a small fold out thing that really doesn't do shit. It'll be a pain in the ass for a while. But guys, let me tell you, this is still van life. And it might not be fancy or bougie, but eventually it will be. And I've done this before and probably have to do it again someday, so I'm just accepting it. I'm not happy about it, but this is how it is. What do you think, Sparrow?
Ball.
Okay, yeah, I know.
So now we're on our way to Payson, Arizona, where it's going to be about 10 degrees warmer, and I'll be bringing my van there to another place to see about the alignment issues. That Ascot Auto in Flagstaff up. And I'm really hoping it doesn't cost too much to fix this because I've already put about $2,500 into this van, and that's not including any of the build. Luckily, it's a beautiful day for driving, and we get to drive through Tonto National Forest, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'm one of those weirdos who doesn't usually drive with music. It's kind of like meditating for me to drive and just let my thoughts wander and kind of analyze stuff and work stuff out in my brain. So I tend to drive pretty quiet. Let me know in the comments, are you guys team music or team quiet?
Sometimes you just have to have like a 10,000 calorie donut.
Especially when you're stressed out. Donuts are amazing. And we've got to kill some time in Payson until the van gets seen.
ASMR.
And I finally have some great news about that. When I brought the van to Big O Tires in Payson, Arizona, they confirmed what I already knew about Ascot Auto's way overpriced estimate. And when they looked at the parts that Ascot wanted to replace, they told me there was absolutely no need to replace them. They were able to do a tire rotation for $20 and it fixed the problem with the van. So glad I made the choice to not have Ascot do that work. Yay me for listening to my guts. This week has definitely been a lesson in doing so, but look at the views on this drive. It's gorgeous. And we're headed to Phoenix now. we doing in Phoenix? Well, we're gonna get all the things we need for this van build as much as possible from Home Depot and the restores in Phoenix, and then we're gonna head out to Quartzsite.
I'm glad I left, because the second I left, like, so many people, especially on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere, people that have already had a lot of experience building out vans came out of the woodwork and offered to help me build mine. And even if I don't need their help, just to have someone who knows and has more experience than me that I can like soundboard ideas off of and look to for advice. And even just another set of hands to like hold something up while I drill it in. Just the offer of that is more than Baloo ever did. And I'm so grateful. I'm over the moon for these people. You know who you are. It's DG, it's V from Van Gypsies. There's other people. I can't even remember them all. Blazing Trails from YouTube and Instagram. Just incredible people who know the struggle of building things out and being on your own and dealing with difficult people. And I'm so grateful, you guys, like tears of joy. We'll be meeting up soon in Southern Arizona. And right now, I am at Habitat for Humanity, the Restore in Phoenix, and I'm going to try and get some cabinets and some utility paneling and maybe even some 1x1s. I'm not sure what they have here, but we're gonna check it out before I go to Home Depot and gear up, that maybe here I can save some money. My pea cup just split in half while I was peeing in it. All over the floor. Did you just do laundry, Bunny? I did. I just did laundry yesterday, actually. Did you wash your rug? I washed my rugs yesterday. Yep. Let me make sure you pee on it. Oh, of course.